Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate 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 Vasudevaya.
Reading from Srimad-Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 1, Text 2. Dharma projita kaitavatra paramo nirmatsaranam satam Vedyam vastavam matra vastu shivadam trapatrayon moolanam Srimad-Bhagavate Mahamuni Krite Kimva Paredishvaraha Sadyo Hirdi Avarudhyatetra Kritibhi Shushrubhishtatchanat. Translation. Completely rejecting all religious activities which are materially motivated, this Bhagavata Purana propounds the highest truth, which is understandable by those devotees who are fully pure in heart. The highest truth is reality distinguished from illusion for the welfare of all. Such truth uproots the threefold miseries. This beautiful Bhagavatam compiled by the great sage Vyasadeva in his maturity is sufficient in itself for God realization. What is the need of any other scripture? As soon as one attentively and submissively hears the message of Bhagavatam, by this culture of knowledge, the Supreme Lord is established within his heart. Purport, second paragraph of the verse. Third paragraph. In the Vedas, the above mentioned four activities are prescribed in the regulative way so that there will not be any undue competition for sense gratification. But Srimad-Bhagavatam is transcendental to all these sense gratificatory activities. It is purely transcendental literature which can be understood only by the pure devotees of the Lord, who are transcendental to competitive sense gratification. In the material world, there is keen competition between animal and animal, man and man, community and community, nation and nation. But the devotees of the Lord rise above such competitions. They do not compete with the materialists because they are on the path back to Godhead, where life is eternal and blissful. Such transcendentalists are non-envious and pure in heart. In the material world, everyone is envious of everyone else, and therefore there is competition. But the transcendental devotees of the Lord are not only free from the material envy, but are well-wishers to everyone, and they strive to establish a competition-less society with God in the center. The contemporary socialist conception of a competition-less society is artificial because in the socialist state there is competition for the post of dictator. From the point of view of the Vedas, or from the point of view of common human activities, sense gratification is the basis of material life. There are three paths mentioned in the Vedas. One involves fruitive activities to gain promotion to better planets. Another involves worshipping different demigods for promotion to planets of the demigods. And another involves realizing the absolute truth and his impersonal feature and becoming one with him. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Bhaschate Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadin Gaur Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. Completely rejecting all religious activities which are materially motivated, this Bhagavad Puran propounds the highest truth, which is understandable by those devotees who are fully pure in heart. The highest truth is reality distinguished from illusion. For the welfare of all, such truth uproots the threefold miseries. This beautiful Bhagavatam compiled by the great sage Vyasadeva in his maturity is sufficient in itself for God realization. What is the need of any other scripture? As soon as one attentively and submissively hears the message of Bhagavatam, by this culture of knowledge, the Supreme Lord is established within the heart. Here the paragraph begins with, the above mentioned 4 activities are prescribed in the regulative way, so there will be no undue competition for sense gratification. So what 4 activities is it referring to? It's referring to dharma, artha, kama and moksha. 4 activities which religious systems, mundane religious systems, propagate. Mundane religious systems. Those 4 activities, because it says, otherwise sense gratification will take over everything. So it's to stop sense gratification becoming main aim in life and everything. But actually that happened. That's what's going on now. At the present moment, the political situation, everything, politics is based on sense gratification. How people can be pleased the most, they'll vote that person. Education, sense gratification. I'll study in a good institution where I can earn a good degree. Good degree means what? Good degree means I'll get a good job. A good job means what? More money. That's it. So education means sense gratification. Earning money. I have to give my son a good education. What education? It means some materialistic education where he can get a job to earn and enjoy, and others around him can enjoy in the family. So education, politics, culture. Culture before was traditional, festival, celebrated. Now if you go culture, festival, everything is sense gratification. I heard from some Christian himself when we talked about Christmas, he said now it's just enjoyment, sales and drinking alcohol. And so in different ways, different religions, similar thing. What we call religion, politics, social is all the sense gratification. And Srila Prabhupada said that in the verse 1 to 10, Kama sanendra priti labho jivata yavata jivasa tattva gyasa anartha yasceha karmam. In that verse where it says that the goal of life, life's desires should never be directed towards sense gratification. Kama sanendriya priti labho jivata yavata. Instead, one should preserve his existence. Why? Labho jivata yavata jivasa tattva jigyasa, and inquire into the absolute. Jivasa tattva jigyasa. Or then you can say, all right, I'll do that and I'll do this. Na artha yasceha karma. There is no other goal in life. There is no other goal. Very clear Bhagavatam right in the beginning. 18,000 shlokas, yeah, but we'll set the tone in the beginning, mood. What it has to be followed and how. Now in the opening, in the purport, Prabhupada, what did he write for that? The completely misdirected material civilization is wrongly directed towards sense gratification. Sentence 1. Sentence 2. In politics, in philanthropic activities, in education, he gives a long list. Everything is directed towards sense gratification. Here, what he's saying should not happen, it happened. Center is everything is sense gratification. Education, politics, culture, religion. Religion is that, okay. So, how to know God? But what happened now, when we were in, we went to preach in a country in Africa, Malawi. I mean, and I'm not going to blame Malawi. The whole world is like this. That when we arrived there, so you got new religion. So if we join your religion, what will we get? So actually, it's not their fault. They were spoiled by other religions who came before us, giving out free rice, free education, free clothes, and build your house if you join our church or whatever mosque. So, but then they got that idea, and this is the idea now that even religion, or what we'll get, what's the benefit, And so, sense gratification has taken over everything. At least in the Vedic system, mundane religious system. But they try to regulate at least, okay, sense gratification, and then dharma, artha, kama, moksha, the 3 varga. That religiosity, sense gratification, material profit, and liberation. There should be a balance. They try to do that. Liberation also. So it happened now in this society. Srimad-Bhagavatam denies this very idea. Dharmasya apavargasya nartharthaya upakalpate. Dharmasya hi apavargasya. The religion is meant for becoming free from material attachment. Pavarga, understand? Pavarga. Apavarga means free from material sense gratification. Religion is supposed to inculcate that. That means the more the system is supposed to be such, more I become religious, more I become absorbed in that, the more I become distant, vairagya comes. And not only that, but the religion itself is outlining purity, no sense gratification, no self-profit, selfless service to God. And I'm not going to say selfless service to man, because if you're selfless service to God, definitely you'll be selfless service to man and animal and dogs and cats and everyone. First, God. That is religion. So, dharmasya apavargasya na artharthaya upakalpate. And neither should any material benefit you derived be used for sense gratification. Na arthaya upakalpate. If I'm doing anything and I get some profit from that activity, that should not be used for sense gratification. It should be used for spiritual advancement. So, Bhagavatam establishes right from beginning what is the scene, what is the idea. Sense gratification should not be there, neither in religion nor anything, especially religion, no sense gratification. That's not religion. Religion means connecting to God. Sense gratification means connecting to something else, material desires, material world. Material desires is such a thing that every time I do material sense gratification, one knot is tied, like someone is tied. I do sense gratification, it's tied. Again I do, again it's tied. Again I do, again it's tied. Again more and more knots, karma bandhana. Then the more knots are tied, the more it's difficult to think of Krishna. It's harder. For people who are heavily material conditioned, it's difficult. They're also most miserable because the spiritual spark is really faded and gone. So that in this way, sense gratification is a disease. Religion is the cure. So how can the religion promote a disease? That means it's not a religion, it's a cheating religion. It's an artificial, mundane, half religion. It's meant for a certain class of people who cannot give up sense gratification, but they have to do something. So some form, otherwise every single community in this creation has some kind of religion. If you go in the jungle also, people living there, wearing the skin and hunting animals with a bow and arrow, they'll have a religion, their own. It may be very tamasic, but there'll be some conception of God, activity, religion. And there'll be a heavy degree of sense gratification. So this is how to measure religion, advancement of religion. Srila Bhakti Saraswati Thakur spoke about drish vichar. Who heard of that? You heard of it? Yeah? The seer and the seen. Consideration of the see and the seen. So he outlined that concept. It's not his concept, it's not new. He's just elaborating on this same point that are we the seer or the seen? If I'm the seer, I am the one seeing. Means I'm enjoyer. I want everything for me. And the seen, it means I am to be seen by God. I am to serve God. I am to do everything for God and follow His instruction. I am meant for God. So he said that religion can be measured in this term. To what extent is it clearly defined that one is seer or the seen? Drik drish vichar. You have to see that point, see it. Or will it be seen? There's one anecdote given, that once in Gaudiya Math there was some festival. There was one doctor, someone, who used to visit Gaudiya Math a lot in the festivals. But he used to visit for Malpua. Malpua is the prasad they serve after. It's in Orissa and Bengal and other parts of India. It's supposed to be a very opulent dish. People, and in festival it has to be there. Especially in Gaudiya Math, they always had Malpua, and he will come for that. And so he'll be he'll also give donations. And so one day he was taking the Malpua, and next to him, one brahmachari told him, whatever his name was, Doctor, is the Malpua eating you, or are you eating the Malpua? Then he looked. Oh yeah, okay, yeah, all right, you got it. It was him. I don't think so. No, it wasn't.
No, personal servant of Bhakti Siddhanta.
That was not his personal servant. It was Prananda. Okay, anyway, so he said, is the Malpua eating you, or are you eating the Malpua? Then he looked, he said, I give a lot of donations, I have money, I can cook, I don't come here just to eat Malpua. Then he got angry and left. Then someone came and told Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur, this is what happened. So he, instead of getting angry, he said, people don't understand this concept. Actually, that person is telling him that actually we should not be enjoyer even of prasad. He was giving it in a rhetorical question kind of way. Are you enjoying the prasad? Or should we be serving God and pleasing Him by taking prasad, His prasad? So that was the concept. Important concept in religion. Otherwise, how will we become free from that idea, sense gratification, until we understand it? And so higher religious process is very clear who is enjoyer and what is my position. It's very clear. And if it's not there, then that, as I said, is known as cheating religion. Kaitava dharma. Ku dharma. Many words are there. Chala dharma. Cheating. So many words are there, but this is the point. Okay, so naturally there will not be many takers for that. If you're giving pure diamond and you're giving the cost, you're not going to expect a crowd, big crowd. Because people came to this material world for different purpose. They didn't come for that. They didn't come to surrender. They didn't come for serving and giving up their sense gratification. There will not be many takers. But that is the standard. Bhagavad Gita says sense gratification is our enemy. Vidhi enam hi vedinam. He is enemy. Because everyone has a different idea, who's my enemy? He's my enemy. But someone who's enlightened understands, actual enemy is me. And these people who are wishing me bad, it's a reaction from what I did to them. And why did I do that to them? Because of my sense gratification, karma. The greatest enemy of the jiva is material sense gratification. Sense gratification. Material happiness is the greatest enemy. Why? As I said, it will bind you. It will bind you to this material world. Tighter and tighter. That's one thing. Second thing is, when we act on that platform, we are acting different from our constitutional position, which is to serve Krishna. That is, it makes us forget Krishna. It's enemy. Kama esha krodha esha rajaguna samudbhava. Mahashana mahapapma vidhi ainam hi vedinam. And again, in the same series of verses, it says, Kama rupa durasadam. No, not that. It says again that Kama is the eternal enemy. Nitya vedina. Yeah, Avritam Jnanametena Jnanino Nitya Vairina. He covers the knowledge of the living entity. Knowledge. And what is knowledge? Knowledge is I am soul. I am eternal servant of Krishna. Knowledge is that I am meant to perform bhakti. Knowledge is that I have nothing to do with this material body and this material world. But what happens? When we try to enjoy separate from Krishna, this gets covered. It gets covered. Avrityam jnanam etena jnanino. Jnanino means the one full of knowledge. He is not anymore full of knowledge. He doesn't understand his self-interest. Gets covered. Avrityam jnanam etena jnanino nitya vairina kama rupena kaunteya. It is that form of lust. It covers the knowledge. So this is the greatest enemy. But if we preach the pure thing, people won't readily come. They won't come because they're not understanding what we're saying. They won't understand philosophy. To understand this, you need spiritual intelligence. And so, in the beginning, we'll not even speak much. We just feed them gulab jamun, halwa, make them dance in the kirtan. I worship in this and this Baba. Very good. Take some more prasad. In my home, we follow this Yogananda, this and that. Okay, very nice. Come attend the kirtan. We speak, oh, not much. But something we may say, but they'll not understand. They don't have that intelligence. So we say that the greatest enemy is sense gratification. But it's not sense gratification. The thing is that it's not pleasurable. Actually, it's not even pleasurable. Okay, but the greatest trick of Maya is to cheat you that this is the pleasure, this is the fun. It's not. It's not. And how do we know? Is when you experience real pleasure. Actually, no one knows what is happiness. No one. What is real happiness? Who has experienced it? Someone asked, once told Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, came to him that in my dream I saw Krishna. He was like this and like that. He said, you saw Krishna. Did you see Maya also? So I couldn't understand the conversation, but then the meaning is given, is that you saw Krishna, then what are you still doing in the material world? What are you still doing in material existence? Why you need to eat? Why aren't you now going mad seeing Krishna on the altar? Or with the anticipation, I'm going to take prasad of Krishna, great bliss. Why aren't we so much, So, what does that tell us? That actually when we see Krishna, all that will go. Material, desire for material sense gratification. Then what kind of pleasure is it that you're giving it up so easily? Which is mentioned that people give up like stool. In Bhagavatam it's written, Bharat Maharaj, when he renounced, he walked out of the palace. How he walked out of the palace? Like he walked out of a toilet. It's given, he gave it up like stool. Country, society, family, wealth, animal, everything, he just gave it up like stool. And how do you give up stool? You give, oh my God, what will happen to my stool? Shall I leave it? Who'll take care? So we don't say that, no? We don't say that. We just walk out. So similarly, how he gave up like that. He just walked out. He wasn't thinking anything. So and how you give it up? So and how do you walk out? Very fast, because it smells, So you want to put great distance. Immediately you walk out, put off the light, shut the door, and go, and that's it. So the question is, if that was really pleasure, how so quickly people are giving it up when they do give it up? How is it? That is not sense gratification. That is poison. Bhagavad Gita says poison. And Chaitanya Charitamrita explains that eating food cooked by sense gratifiers makes the mind wicked. Vishair anakhaila dushta haya man. So vishair means sense gratifier. It means those associating with vish, poison, sense gratification. Those associating with that, dushta haya man, makes the mind wicked. Wicked mind is mind which is not thinking about Krishna. Wicked. It's not thinking about Krishna, serving Krishna. It's thinking how I'll enjoy, how I'll do this. This is my plan. This is what I'll do. And I'll save this money in that account. And I'll put this fixed deposit. And this I'll enjoy. I'll not enjoy. My children will enjoy. And grandchildren will all enjoy. Make a plan. So that actually is wicked mind. Why aren't you thinking about Krishna? And the mind we're given and the brain is for serving Krishna. Why aren't you thinking of that? Who gave you the mind? Who's sustaining your life? You're not thinking about him? Most humble, kind, loving personality that I took birth as a pig. Still, Krishna followed. He's in the heart. Where are the loving family members? They are left behind. They didn't come. In the next body, Krishna followed you. He followed. So, those who don't think about serving Krishna, this is wickedness. Sense gratification, I'll not think of Krishna. Wicked. Wicked means so cruel, so inconsiderate, not thinking about Krishna. Here in the purport it's written also in the second sentence that, but Srimad-Bhagavatam is transcendental to all these sense gratificatory activities. Now, after spending so many lives in this darkness, in this poison, stool pit of material desires, many expressions are there. I don't so then we come to the Amala Puran. Mala is, well, in sense gratification. In some language it means stool. I think in Tamil it means stool. And so the rubbish, after associating with that rubbish all over, now we come to Srimad-Bhagavatam. Srimad-Bhagavatam Puranam Amalam. Srimad-Bhagavatam is transcendental to this sense gratification. It won't promote your material desire. Each sentence, each word, prati akhar, prati shlok. No, forgot it. Why am I quoting? So every word, every letter of Bhagavatam is for benefit of the jiva, not for his harm. That we'll see, explain how to expand your material enjoyment, vistar, and how to expand material enjoyment in this material world. No, it's not for that. It's every letter, every shloka, everything is how to curb it and how to become free from this. So Prabhupada says here, Srimad-Bhagavatam is transcendental to all sense gratificatory activities. Therefore, in other words, it will lead to real happiness, because real happiness means giving up that material platform. We cannot talk about giving up material platform unless you're giving up this desire for sense gratification. That desire has to go. Only then can there be some form of happiness. And how do you get rid of that desire? Srimad-Bhagavatam Puranam Amalam Yad Vaishnavanam Priyam, very dear to the Vaishnavas, because it is helping them to come to Krishna. Which Shastra is helping you to go to Krishna? We can quote so many, but purely Krishna, only Krishna, how to come to Him. So many shlokas in Bhagavatam, but so many of them are directly speaking about Krishna. The 10th canto, right from the beginning, opening verse, it's all about Krishna. So for devotees, very dear, because here my consciousness won't be taken away from Krishna. It will be taken only on the material, only on Krishna. It will not be taken away from Krishna. It will be taken away from material sense gratification. So purely on the spiritual platform, it's very pleasing. And so with Bhagavatam, how will we live? How does a devotee live? It's his life and soul, because Bhagavatam means he's reading, or he's hearing, or he's meditating on the verses, or the pastimes that we heard from Bhagavatam. Queen Kunti, Tvai me nanya vishaya matir madhus pate sakrit rati mudvato dha gangi baugham udhanvati. So Queen Kunti prays that let my mind flow to you as Ganga is rushing to the sea without any impediment. How Ganga goes, and if the mountain or something comes, it will go around, or on top, or gradually it will wear out that part and go on. Ratim udvato adha gange vaugham udhanvati. Let my rati, my attraction be to you like Ganga is for joining the ocean, flowing. So hearing verses like this, and so many amazing verses that we can meditate and think upon, how can we do that? If Bhagavatam is not there. It's so dear to Vaishnavas. And therefore in ISKCON, every single morning, just discussing and hearing Bhagavatam. It's great benediction, the speaker and the hearer. So Bhagavatam is not on that platform. We see so many Shastras promoting material sense gratification, not Srimad-Bhagavatam. Spotless Purana. Prabhupada translates Amal Puran, spotless. No spot, no dosh, no guna, no material dirt. That means nothing material, spiritual from beginning. Once I was preaching in one center, and there was a big donor, and I kept telling him, read Bhagavatam, read Bhagavatam. And One day he started reading, he said the first 3 verses, it's so heavy. I told him, you didn't come to the heavy part. So the first 3 verses I couldn't. It's telling me that I had to give up everything, no sense gratification already. So then I thought in my mind, yeah, Bhagavatam is making clear. Don't be under any illusion. This is what we're going to discuss. Who's still in the class? This is the topic. Who's still sitting? Okay. Who are they? Pure. Nirmat Saranam, pure devotees. Pure devotees. They want to be pure. They're pure. So Bhagavatam is for you. You sat, you didn't get up. Only spiritual instructions are in Bhagavatam. Really spiritual. Actually, if you take the real definition of spiritual, only bhakti. Otherwise, we say sometimes, Jnanis are transcendentalists, yogis are transcendentalists, and bhaktas. Now look at the real definition. Actually, only bhakti. Because they also have material desires. They may be very subtle and not gross sense gratification, but they have. You can understand the mood of Bhagavatam by simply hearing the instructions. When does Shukadeva Goswami, they put forward the questions to him, so now he has to start speaking. So now you can say Bhagavatam is starting. Shukadeva Goswami is going to start speaking. Actually, Bhagavatam is from text 1. But if you want to say that, alright, just like Bhagavad Gita, Krishna starts talking, 2.11. So what is he saying? What is the opening verse? Ashochan and Vashochastvam. Why are you lamenting for the body? First instruction, it starts. So now, if you see Bhagavatam, that Shukadeva Goswami is starting to give instruction. They ask many questions, so okay, I want to answer your questions. Okay? And first thing, thank you for asking such nice questions. Varyam meshate prashna. Krito loka hitam krita. That you ask such questions that everyone will get benefit. You're not asking me how to increase my bank balance or, that's a good thing. Okay? Atmavid samatam pumsam. Shrota vyadishu yapara. It's concerning self-realization. So worth hearing. Okay, so instruction begins. Shroda vyadini rajenda nirnam santi sahasrasha apashatam atma tattvam greshu gruhamedinam. He starts. Okay, so before we discuss Bhagavatam, you should understand that the materialist, those who don't want to hear what I'm saying, these people who are materially engrossed, they are blind. Apashatam atma tattvam. Those who are materially engrossed and blind to the knowledge of self-realization, Nirnam Santi Sahasrasha, they have so many topics to discuss. If you're not going to sit and discuss about spiritual topics, you'll want to discuss so many other things. Bahu Shaka Inanta, it's mentioned in Gita. He says, first of all, okay, all of you sat down to hear Bhagavatam, and those who didn't come, means not interested in Bhagavatam, in Bhagavad Dharma, so many people came actually from all over the world. Some didn't. Who didn't come? Jnanis and yogis. Some didn't come. So those who didn't come, he said that they are blind to self-realization. They'll have so many topics to discuss. This is opening verse, his instruction. And then he's explaining what is their position. Materialist, nidrai hriyate naktam vyavayena chavavaya dinacha arteya rajan kutumba bharanenava. He said such people, at night they'll just be sleeping or having sex. Nidrai hriyate naktam vyavayena chavavaya. And the daytime, Dina Charteya Rajan Kutumba Bharanenava, they're just engrossed in earning for family members. They're not thinking about self-realization. Such people are materially just engrossed in these things. Still, he didn't come to the answer. The question we asked is something totally different. But he's explaining this is that we asked some questions, but some people will not be sitting here and are not interested. So this is their position. And such people take shelter of false things. Deha patya kalatradishu atmasenyeshu satsvapi tesham brahmato nidhanam pashyanapi na pasyan. Such people, they'll take shelter of the body. They'll go to the gym and work out thinking that I'll build my body, everything will be okay. As long as my body is healthy and I'm eating organic and everything, and I'm, of course, eat organic, it's not wrong. But say if we say that, okay, I'll just take care of my body, and my, go to the gym and do this yoga, this asana, this and that, and then everything is okay. Deha, taking shelter. Deha patya kalata. Or they take shelter of those things related to the body, family members, thinking, no, if my family, everything is okay in the family, then it's okay. I work hard to put my family in good order. Patya kalatra adishu, or taking shelter of wife. They're thinking that if I get a good wife and everything is okay at home, she's preparing everything, then there's no problem. That should be okay. Then there'll be no problem. Deha patya kalatradishu atma senesha satsapi. They're taking shelter of temporary things. Sainya means soldiers. That means you want to fight this material energy and Maya, you cannot take a fallible soldier, which is going to be defeated by Maya. Atma seneshu asatsvapi. These are fallible soldiers. Asat tesham pramato nidanam pashyapi na pashyati. These people cannot see their destruction happening. They do not see their inevitable destruction coming from old age, death. Although sufficiently experienced, they're seeing every day, they're not having that much knowledge to see that they've taken shelter of a false shelter. Pashyanapi na pashyati. Although they're seeing, they do not see. So it goes on like that. This is Shukadeva Goswami's opening verse, instructions, explaining, very black and white. This is material, this is spiritual. You must come here. If you don't, this is the situation. There is no grey matter. Surrender to Krishna, become a materialist. Don't take shelter of material things. So these are the opening words. So these words in Srimad-Bhagavatam, who can understand it? Only spiritual people. It says in Srimad-Bhagavatam itself, in this verse that we are reading, it takes time to go back. Okay, so understandable by those devotees who are fully pure in heart. Who will understand? Now instruction will begin. We'll speak Bhagavatam. But so many people I read, I didn't understand anything. Actually, all of us, we're not understanding. If we understood, will we be here? Will we be like this situation? No. So we didn't understand. But here it's giving how to understand, because now we're going to speak the knowledge. Vyasadeva wrote Bhagavatam. He's saying, I'm speaking, but it will only be understandable to pure devotees. Their heart should be pure. They can understand. Nirmat saranam satam vedyam. It will only be known by those who are fully pure. They can understand. Pure. Actually, this is in Gita also, many times, repeated. Gita. Rahasyam hi etat uttamam. Krishna says, I'll speak Gita, you will not understand. This is emphasized again and again. Samaya vatyatha yoga prokta puratana bhaktasi me sakachiti rahasyam hi etat uttamam. Because you're my devotee and my friend, you'll understand. You'll understand the secret. Otherwise you can't. You'll not understand. Rahasyam hi etat uttamam. Again it's in chapter 9. Jnanam te hamsya vijnanam idam vakshami asheshata yadgyat. No. Idam tu te guhyatamam pravakshami anasuyave. I am speaking to you this knowledge, idam tu te guhyatamam, which is very confidential. Anasuya, because you are not envious of me. Tu te jnanam idam tu te guhyatamam pravakshami anasuyave. Moks ashubhat, I forgot the third line. Anasuyave yadgya. That is true. Okay. No, 9.1. Idam tute guhyatamam pravakshami anasuyave. Jnanam vijnanam sahitam yadgyatva mokshasya shubhat. He said, I'm going to speak jnana savijnana. I'll speak the knowledge and the realization. Okay, now we'll get the knowledge, but we don't have the realization. So Krishna is emphasizing again and again in 10.1, that you understand, you have to be pure. Because you're pure, I'm telling you. Because you're my devotee, you'll understand. So Bhagavatam is going to be spoken, but it says here clearly, who will understand? Nirmat saram, free from envy. You have to be free from envy. There you'll understand. And why is that? Because a devotee, to understand Krishna, you need spiritual intelligence. You have to be on the spiritual platform. And unless you're on spiritual platform, then Krishna will not impart to you. You will not understand. It needs spiritual intelligence. We have to be purified. Krishna is spiritual. We don't have the eyes to see. We don't have the brain understand. In one place, Prabhupada says that taking prasad, we can understand subtle subject matter. Fine brain tissue is formed to understand spiritual topics. We will not understand only. You will hear, you will not understand. That Sukriti, not in the material sense, spiritual sense. Sukriti is required. You need to understand Krishna. Come to that level. So Krishna, he spoke, but he's saying this is the condition. Now also in Bhagavatam, he's saying, Vyasadeva is saying, this Bhagavatam is meant for these people. Come on that platform. Then you'll understand it. So it meant for devotees. Krishna Surya Sama Maya Handakara, Jaha Krishna Taha Nahi Maya Adhikara. Where Krishna is, there is no darkness, there is no Maya. So devotees, their consciousness is always filled with Krishna. Because it's filled with Krishna, there is no Maya, so they'll understand. Only devotees, always thinking about Krishna, always having spiritually pure mind. Again, even to think of Krishna, you have to have it's both ways. You have to be purified to even think of Krishna. So that is there. So the purport says that transcendental, here it says, transcendental to material. But Srimad-Bhagavatam is transcendental to all sense gratification. It is purely transcendental literature which can be understood only by pure devotees who are transcendental to competitive sense gratification. They are transcendental to this competition in the material world. This is something we'll experience so much. It's very disgusting. So yesterday someone was discussing with me. He's from Tripura. So he recently started joining mundane work, and he told me, he made one sentence. He said, this material life is so disgusting. He's working now. Recently got married and he had to earn some money. So he said, it's disgusting. He has to associate, and I can understand his point that among devotees, what is the mood? And in the office, what is the mood? And this is the word here. Competitive sense gratification. Competition for everything, competition. Even within the family, competition. You saw when the mother bird brings the food, what do the other birds do? You go first and take it. No, you go. No, you take it. What do?
One who is more desperate.
The one loud or most strong will pull everyone and go and get it. Little children, kids, from beginning, it's from the beginning. Then what to speak of when you grow up and you have to, and this is family, so-called. So that competition is there. Everyone wants to be enjoyer, everyone wants to be Ishwar. So they all demand, and but how many will get? Not everyone will get. So Prabhupada says here that it's free from this competitive material society. Keen competition, it says. So because of this competition, there is no peace in material society. Always you have to compete for everything. Compete. Everyone is there, they'll take it if you don't take. And everyone wants to be enjoyer, so they'll try and grab it. No one will leave it. They'll all want it. They'll all want the material resources. So they'll compete, and then in that competition, they'll step on you. How can you live like that? How can you live in such a society? How can you? Family, within community, society. Some people, they support some political party. Within that party, they're fighting. They'll fight. It will be like that. Why? Because it's motivated by calm. It's motivated by sense gratification. And that such a thing you cannot regulate. You can't stop it. Demanding, you must give it. Demand. You'll not think about, I have to be polite, I have to be nice. No, because when calm is desiring, you must take it, you must do it. So society motivated by that, they cannot have peace, cannot be peaceful. Neither will anyone there be peaceful. If you be peaceful, someone will grab your share. Or if you be nice, that society is like that. So devotees are very much repelled by such thing, very much. In this material world, it says, it's here in the beginning, first canto. Jivasya jivo jivanam. One living entity is food for another. How can such a cruel nature, everyone is eating, lion is eating the deer and the zebra is eating. No, that is material world. Jivasya jivo jiva. It's given here in Shastra. This is the world. This is the world. Don't be surprised. It's a material world motivated by karma. And see, these people won't understand Bhagavatam because it's for Nirmat Saranam, those who are not envious. These people are envious. First envy was Krishna. We are envious of Krishna. That was number one. After that, the envy starts. Envious of each other, envious of family, envious of work, people, neighbor. It starts from there. And so Prabhupada said, the only gentleman is one who's a devotee. Otherwise, he's not. How to test someone is good or bad? As I mentioned many times, Prabhupada said a very quick, easy way, which any cook will know. How to test if rice is cooked. All the rice. One grain of rice. How to know if he's a rascal or not? One thing. Are you devotee? Are you a devotee? No. Okay. There is rascal. Prabhupada's system. Why? Because you envy Krishna, then how can you be polite to other people? How can you be nice? And you say, no, but they are nice. Okay, that niceness is what you call in English as a saying, honor among thieves. Okay, we stole all the money, we're going to divide it nicely and honestly between all the thieves. Okay, everyone be honest, put proper share to everyone. Okay. It's called honor among thieves. They're thieves, they stole, now we'll divide it up nicely. That's all. So if you're not devotee of Krishna, then you're not a gentleman. You're not a good person, you're envious. This is the test. So now people try to eliminate this. How? Socialism. Have you heard of socialism? You know what is socialist society? What is it?
Where everyone will get
equal share. By force, government is regulating. Actually I was born in a socialist country. So they took all the money of the Indians in Africa. 1967. Government by force said we're going to implement socialism. And who were the richest people? The Indians. And they took all, okay, this is Africa. So they took all the money by force. And education free, medical free, everything took all the money. Okay, so that is socialist country. In socialism, equal. Okay, in communism means the state is the owner. Here they'll give everyone, but equally. So socialism, they want to eliminate this competition and exploitative mentality which is in the society. Even they saw this is not a good thing. Okay, so but then what happens? Prabhupada says in the purport here regarding that. Okay, it's a good idea to a contemporary socialist conception of a competitionless society is artificial. When we say that everyone will by force, no one will earn more, we'll give everyone a good house, everyone money, everyone education, equally. Okay? But this is artificial. Why? Prabhupada said because everyone will compete to be the dictator. Who will be the head of the social society? They'll compete for that. We didn't remove competition. It's not possible. So that's not competitionless. We're talking about competitionless society. How to establish? Because if jiva is disturbed, you cannot do bhakti even. If you're so disturbed, how will you practice spiritual life? Varnashram society is not disturbed. Everyone is guaranteed material employment, guaranteed. It's waiting for you. You grow up, you're ready. Father is ready to give you your job. No one will compete, no one will take it. Krishna system, perfect, competitionless. But basically, competitionless society is Bhagavat. The Bhagavats. Bhagavat means devotees of Bhagavan, devotees. Based on Srimad-Bhagavatam, free from envy. What is their motivation? Karmi society motivation is karma. I will enjoy more and more and more. And if you can enjoy much more, what a great person, look at him, he's got so much wealth, glorified, he can enjoy so much. Yeah. But a Bhagavad society, they are motivated by pleasing God, pleasing Krishna. That is their motivation. Very peaceful society. Very safe society. How to stop crime? Increasing crime in city. Everyone should be devotee. Prabhupada said, no, he spoke with the head of the Chicago Police Department. He was arriving in America, and the day he was arriving, in the front page was there, crime, why and what to do. And what was the answer? He said, Prabhupada said, you give me a big hall and I'll do Harinam Sankirtan. Call all the people. In every locality there should be a hall, and Arati, Gaur Arati, Mangal Arati should be celebrated. Government should give free prasad there. Everything. And then there'll be no crime. He said, I'm afraid we cannot do that. We are a secular society. What will people think? Not everyone is religious. I'm telling you how to solve your problem. Why are you talking about religion, secular? You don't want to solve your problem. And I'm speaking about, I'm not saying God, this name. Everyone come chant names of God. You're all, everyone is devotee of God. So in a Bhagavad society, it can be competitionless. Here, in material world, everyone is envious of everyone else. There's competition. But the transcendental devotees of the Lord are not only free from material envy, but they are well-wishers of everyone. And they strive to establish a competition-less society with God in the center. So Bhagavatam is aiming to establish a society with these qualities and culture and religious, social, economic system where there will be no competition, competition-less society. What do people say about communism? Everyone became lazy because they're going to get everything. No one is striving to earn money like capitalists. But this is different, because in a Bhagavad society, known as spiritual communism, they're striving to satisfy Krishna. They're working hard for that. They'll struggle, Prabhupada said, much more than the materialist. What is materialist motivated by? Yeah, sense gratification. Prabhupada said it very directly. He said they're motivated by sex. For that, they'll struggle hard. He said they'll work hard. But Prabhupada said, devotee is not motivated by that. He is free from sex desire, and he'll work double hard. He can work much more, being free from that. So the Bhagavad society is peaceful, peaceful society, peaceful people. Only then can you think of anything. You can do bhakti. Now, such a competition, before, I remember we'll do our class 3, 4, 5, 6. Then you come to the high school. Then you PUC, then degree. Now degree level you have to enter college, so they do some extra study, tuition. Then the tuition idea came little earlier. Okay, we'll do in PUC level to enter. Okay, then tuition idea now is come in primary school. Class 3, 4, 5, students finish school, immediately go for tuition. Come on, live your life. What's wrong with you? Carrying huge, heavy bags. What is wrong with you? Why are you doing that? No, we have to get a job, we have to get a good degree. Otherwise, how are we going to survive? Competition. People, even childhood is gone for this competition. Coding, learning coding, early age. You were there, huh? I was. Most of us. No, you were not. Peaceful life. So
Kids learning coding.
Yeah, little kids are learning coding. 6, 7 years. And they'll put a picture of some big coder. I saw one here, learn chess, the picture somewhere here on the road, and they show the picture of that kid, prodigy, who won. Your kid can be like that. Because let him play in the park. What are you doing? Kids have to go and play and enjoy the sun. Later on they'll get problems. Competition, you cannot live like this. Competition, so and education, then at work, so 1 lakh people applying for 10 jobs. And you don't get it, you get depressed and stressed, and we had to stop this. Distribute Srimad Bhagavatam. Okay, so souls came from Vaikuntha to enjoy. And that enjoyment is limited. Economics will tell you resources are limited. So there'll always be inflation. Everything will get more and more expensive gradually. Because resources are limited, everyone wants them. So inflation is a natural thing. things will get more expensive. And so people on that level, they'll not want to hear about Krishna. It's our job, Bhagavatas, or aspiring Bhagavatas, followers of Bhagavatam, to tell people there's another life, there's another society. You don't have to live like a rat, or dog, or cat. You can live as a human being. You can live a spiritual life, devotee life. So Bhagavatam is expounding on this. Most of the Vedas are on material platform. The Bhagavatam is expounding on this, but Vyasadeva is saying, to understand this, Nirmat Saranam, you have to be not envious and this competitive mindedness. You can compete to please Krishna, that you can. But Bhagavatam has to be on this platform. The one to understand Bhagavatam has to be on that platform. So Vyasadeva is saying that. And so devotees have to come on this platform. People have to come on this platform to understand, This is desire of a devotee, that everyone should come on this platform. Yes, it's only for non-envious people. So make them non-envious, bring them into this. Otherwise you cannot live life like this. People are suffering, health is suffering. People are suffering medically, people are suffering economically, politically, because of this undue enviousness of each other and competition society. Srimad-Bhagavatam ki jai. Okay. Any question? Yes, question?
There is this philosophy that people believe in, that about sense gratification.
Yeah.
That if you suppress sense gratification, it is very natural thing. And religious people, they come and then they tell that you should suppress it. They call it heinous words. They call it, and then they try to suppress their desire and others also. And because of this suppression, somehow or other it gets released in the form of perversion.
Okay.
And some say that no, if we get involved in it too much, then we lose the taste, and then again it becomes perversion. So where to draw the line? Should we get more involved, or should we suppress it? That is that we direct it to a good way, but how exactly?
Okay.
Suppression leads to perversion. Is it correct philosophy?
Okay, so I'll repeat the question. I don't know, Mike will catch it. So the question is that some people say that if you suppress material desires, this is unnatural and harmful, and it will come out in another way. Maybe you'll become very angry, or you'll one day commit a murder.
You'll do it more.
Or you'll do it much more. Okay. And there's another school of thought that just engage. Sorry, what is that? Okay. That yes, we should restrict. What is the other one?
The other one is totally get engaged in it, but still we see that it's not the solution.
And people also say that you should fully engage in sense gratification.
It's still not the solution.
Then it will go.
No, then the other option, that fully engage in sense gratification,
again it leads
then
to perversion.
it will also
Right. Or so they say that fully engage. Okay, that's the option. Another option. That's what they say. Don't restrict. You fully engage, and if you fully engage, then
again it leads to perversion.
But that again leads to more perversion. So what to do? Shall we restrict or do a lot and try to restrict? So now these persons who say this, that one should not artificially restrict, they quote a certain verse in Gita. I'm trying to find it. Mityachara sauchyate. 3 point what?
One more they say is this suppression leads to sexual suppression leads to psychological disorders.
Okay, so sexual suppression leads to psychological disorder. They say that. Okay. Okay, so here there's a verse in Gita, because they quote this. Nigraha kim karishyati. Even a man of knowledge, sadasham cheshtate svasya prakritir jnanavan api. Prakritim yanti bhutani nigraha kim karishyati. Even a man of knowledge acts according to his own nature. For everyone follows the nature he has acquired by the modes. What can repression accomplish? Krishna says, what can repression accomplish? So they quote this, don't repress. It's wrong, see here? Okay, so now, shall we repress, or is it harmful to repress material desires? Okay, now, by the way, repression is there in human society. Okay, marriage is there. Marriage is there. Okay, and all kind of rules and regulations are there. They're there. Otherwise, if there's no repression, anyone can have sex with anyone, no repression, no rules, nothing. No, it's already there, by the way. Okay, and it's regulated, that's all. Okay. So if someone represses, what will happen? According to Gita, there's the verse which says about karma, sense gratification. It says, Mahashano Mahapapma. So Mahashana means all devouring. Okay, that is one aspect of karma. It devours all good qualities. Okay, and another verse describing it in those series of verses is that fire.
As the smoke gets
No, fire. Lust is like a fire. Yeah. Dushpena nalena. It is like a fire. Okay, so now you all know this. Okay, we all have material bodies. So any activity that someone does material, it is putting fire, ghee in the fire. If you try to enjoy sense gratification, you have to do more. Next time, more and more and more. This is nature of karma. It will not get satisfied. It will increase.
And suppression.
So now Gurukul teaches from beginning suppress. Don't let it come only. If you let it come, then that's it. But even if it comes, and there's a way again to regulate. But the point is that this suppression is there because you have to understand nature of karma. If you say that, don't suppress. Okay, then what will you do? Engage. Then next time you have to do more and more and more and more. Now, before, even in Europe, let's look at Europe where, and America, where this idea is not there at all of suppression. So previously, in 1940s, it was a very conservative society. That was when Britain ruled the world. That society was known as Victorian England. They were very conservative and not at all, illicit sex. And then there, women wore dresses till the ankles, long sleeve. Head was covered also, everyone, completely covered. Okay. Now gradually it became more and more open. Now what happened? Look, first of all, okay, illicit relation, women, okay. Then that didn't become satisfying. Whole pornographic industry grew up. And now all sorts of, what they call unnatural sex came. That was not there before. Now it's there. The people, because they're not satisfied with the normal thing. Okay, unnatural. Then contraceptives. And now horrible things are coming. I don't know if I should do this a Bhagavatam class, something we shouldn't mention. So I will not mention some I'll mention. Like for example, you have this whole problem of kids, child sex. It's become very serious. It's not normal people, all politicians and senior people in society. They're not removing it because who will they remove? How will they stop it? Then you have SM. I won't know. Who knows? No. Who doesn't know? Doesn't know. Whole SM idea. So now this is the psychology. If you say just engage until because it's natural. Okay, what will happen? Then it will increase and increase and increase, and then what will you do? You cannot satisfy. Okay, just like a sponge. A sponge has water. I compress the sponge, water comes out. Second time I want to remove the water. You have to press more. Third time, more and more. And at the end I'm pressing, no water is coming. Yeah.
No, they say that you are not doing it correctly. That's why you are doing it more and more and more. One time you do it correctly, and you will never do it.
Okay, so who did once and didn't stop and didn't do it again? Okay, anyway, that's beyond the
sense gratification.
Okay.
You do it one time.
No, that's not that you and I can see in this material world. Who said I'll drink Coke once and I'll not drink again?
We don't drink it.
Or who said I'll take cocaine one time? Yeah. Opium. That's it. It's not like that. Any activity, the nature is like that, it will not stop. Okay, now the other side. Other side is that they said, okay, as much we have to enjoy, then What was the other half of your question?
The other half was that if we more enjoy, we still see that that doesn't happen. That again leads to perversion. But for that, they reply that we don't do it correctly. If once we do it correctly,
that's okay.
we can be spiritual.
No, that I cannot answer. That's not doesn't make sense. Anything that everyone knows, this whole advertising industry, give the free sample. After that, they'll be hooked. Yeah. So that everyone knows that. That's not a principle. The point is that once you get hooked on sense gratification, you're hooked, and it will increase, it will not decrease. So the Vedic system is not to increase it, not to teach it in the school and to preach about it, and should it be seen everywhere. It's already there. So what they do, they try to reduce it. Prabhupada said that you don't have to teach these things and increase it. That's not special. It's not the special vishesh, the special person is the one who's trying to reduce it. That is great thing. Not that someone can enjoy so much. Yeah. So that you have to understand the nature from Srimad-Bhagavatam, these 2 verses I quoted. From that you can understand that how to deal with it. It's like a fire. Dushpurena nalena cha. It's like a fire. So it should not, don't put ghee in the fire, basically. Another question?
So you mentioned that incident is the malpua, are you eating the malpua?
Yeah, malpua eating you, that code. Yeah.
So how does that develop in a person, that coming to the platform of malpua not eating us?
Okay, how? No, you mean how that we are not eating the malpua?
Yeah, no, I mean...
malpua should eat us, that is
no,
in other words...
The idea is that removing this tendency of sense gratification by honoring the...
So that story about malpua, I said, how to come to that stage where the malpua is, we are not eating for our sense gratification, we are eating to please Krishna. So immediately what comes to mind is philosophy. By understanding philosophy, intelligence becomes strong. When intelligence is strong, then mind is not so strong. So reinforce that idea that I am not enjoy. How? If we daily read Prabhupada's books, then it's emphasized by Srila Prabhupada with a huge hammer, is hammering us. Every sentence, you're not enjoyer, Krishna is enjoyer, you're not enjoyer, you're not enjoyer, Krishna is enjoyer, you cannot enjoy. There is no material sense gratification. So again and again, we have to read. If we daily read Prabhupada's books, you will find this will not be an issue much. If we read daily, because it's reinforced again and again. That is one philosophy. Okay, second is to associate with people who are on that level. They themselves on that level. When we hear from them, associate with them, then we'll also come on that level of not trying to enjoy. Okay, and third is what Prabhupada said in Nectar of Instruction, don't worry about it, take prasad, and that alone gradually you will come to that level. Just by taking prasad, you will come on a detached level. It's not emphasized much in its content. Don't take so much. Maybe later on, of course.
Regarding Malpua, I heard very first different version. This also is different.
Yeah.
From Jagan Prabhu only in 2018 while having prasadam, he told me you should not eat prasadam in the mood of enjoyment.
Yes.
Like you are consuming it.
Yeah.
You should eat as if it is consuming you. Like you will be spiritual. Like
yeah.
This is another version.
Okay, so Satya shared nice observation. I'll repeat it for the mic. That he heard from Jagan Prabhu that the mood of taking prasad is that I am not eating it, it is eating me, it's consuming me, that the material desires are being destroyed and I am getting spiritualized because prasadam is entering into me. That's correct. Therefore we chant so many prayers before. We just chant that Sharira Vidajal. But I've heard senior devotees and sannyasis chanting many verses before honoring prasad. Anad Bhavanti Bhutani, so many. To reinforce that consciousness before eating. Okay, but new people don't get afraid, online, offline. It's good to develop that mood. We'd like to do that. But somebody is very new, doesn't know anything, take prasad a lot. Yes. Don't eat out. Yeah. Hare Krishna. Srimad-Bhagavatam ki jai.